And in the latest development, fresh explosions have been heard in Tehran. There are reports coming in from foreign media that fresh explosions have been heard in Tehran, in Iran. So even as the deadline approaches, there doesn't seem to be any kind of a slowdown. We will try and get details of who really is to be attributed what was the target, because earlier US had almost said it that nothing absolutely is off the radar. Iran had earlier today issued warnings to its citizens not to travel by train because there could be a threat to their lives, that it is not safe, with US saying that, and Trump himself saying that it could be a day of power or it could be a day of bridges when nothing is going to be off the radar. One really needs to see what really was the target of this particular attack. You can see the smoke billowing against the backdrop of a dark sky. Uncertainty looms as to the future of this particular war. And so does it around what really was the target of this attack. Mayank, do we have any clarity on what really was being targeted here?
Hello.
Mayank, if you can hear me, do we have any clarity on what really was on target? What part of Tehran was targeted in the explosion that we see on your screens right now?
What I need to bring out is actually continuously there had been surveillance, and any place, any building structure which is seen to be helping in or assisting in launching an operation from the Iranian side has been mapped and being marked and then being attacked by the Israeli side, as they had been always been claiming. And in the same way, Iran has also been targeting or finding out the targets which can instill or carry out a kind of a destruction for operational activities from the Israel side or from the Middle East side. Why Middle East side? Because there are lots of bases which are being used by the US forces to launch operations on Iran. So if you see any of the places, and geographically, Iran is a huge area. So in that regard, and primarily Tehran has been in the center of all kind of attacks. But lately there was an extension towards southern side also, and towards the larger central Iran. What you see is also part of that only operation. There's continuous surveillance over the places and also structures which Israel forces are finding to be used directly or indirectly, whether for offensive or defensive purposes, by the Iran forces. That's what the aim and target has been since last few days.
Yes, stay on with me, Mayank, because in the face of Donald Trump's bombing threats, Iran continues to remain defiant, and we've got the latest statement to that coming in from Iranian president, where Masoud Pezeshkian has said that 14 million Iranians are ready to sacrifice and lay down their lives, basically sending a message of defiance to the United States as it calls for a ceasefire, looks at an exit plan. Iran says no thanks.
Hearing these things, motivation happens to be a very important part of any warfare, and mobilization of the forces and the people, masses, becomes similar, and it becomes a single aim for any country or any military. So in this case, what you see, the statements from every side which is coming, like let's go to the US side also. The president has been continuously praising the kind of operations which is being performed by the forces from the US side, and same is seen here, because it is to mobilize the masses, and which in this case is the public, and to keep their motivation high, and so as to continue with the operations. It becomes incumbent upon the leaders, whether political or military, to make statements, come out with words.
Yes,
so as
Trump may threaten as much as he wants, Trump may flex his muscle as much as he wants, but Iran says we are ready to fight. Pezeshkian now saying that 14 million have so far registered to fight and lay down their lives for their country, including the Iranian president himself. Thank you, Mayank, for joining us. We take a quick break.